Kenobi's Corner, Kenobi's Corner, Kenobi's Corner.
I don't know how it's coming out in January, but then I already got like a 7.7 rating. I don't know.
Screening? Maybe international releases?
Yeah, or film festivals.
That too.
Who the fuck knows?
We just said a bunch of stuff that it could be.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know, guys. Welcome to Kenobi's Corner. Thank you for joining us this week. I'm Eric, as always. And here is my partner, Jonathan.
I feel like you totally messed that up.
I did. I wanted to start at the very beginning, but then I started at the end somehow, and I got mixed up.
And maybe the middle and at the back part of it.
But then at the back part of it, yeah. So as always, we're here to talk to you about movies, shows, video games, and comics, and everything fantastical in between all of that. And just
mixing things up.
Between
just put anything in any order you want, dude.
Yeah,
just mix it all up today.
You know what? There's gonna be a mixed nut sampler today. I'm excited. We got a lot of things to talk about. Dude,
damn.
Halloween is coming up.
Dude, tomorrow, if you're listening to this on the day we post it, or you could be listening to it on a Monday morning, which means it is Halloween.
Yeah.
Or if you're Tuesday, it's too late. It's too late for you. Halloween already passed.
Too late.
Just turn it off. There's no point in listening to this anymore.
Go back. You've come too far. We can't go back. So
maybe don't turn it off. Maybe I'll just endorse that.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, keep listening if you like. So with us this week, we have a return visitor, Mr. Cody J, or C. Jobson.
How's it going, guys?
It's going good,
Welcome
man.
back, sir. Welcome back.
Dude, first ever return guest, dude.
I know. I was rubbing that in Ashley's face today.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
She's like, didn't we come on first? You're like, yep. Well, we wanted to bring you on just because of we enjoy having you, one, and two, we wanted to talk about some horror movies and you know a thing or two about them. So it's good to have you on.
I'm super stoked.
Dude, heck yeah, man. First news.
Yeah, but before we get to that, we'll talk about a few things that happened this week. What do you want to do, John?
Whatever you want to talk about, man.
Dude,
you're running the show, apparently. I said first news, and we're going to just jump right into it. Instead, you got to do your little intro for it. Whatever, dude. Segways. I get it, right?
Whatever.
They're fun to ride.
We talked about segways last time. But yes.
All right, go for it, man.
No, man, you hit it. You go.
No, dude. It's your thing.
No. You've already made it weird. Do it.
Dude, not unfortunately, I don't know if it's bad news or good news or what kind of news it is, but what's his name? Tim Miller?
Yeah.
Tim Miller.
Uh-huh.
Left Deadpool too.
That's what I heard.
It's sad, man.
Yeah, but I think...
Do you think what?
I mean, it would have been cool to have him on again just to, to keep that flow going.
Right.
They had a good chemistry the first go-round. And just kind of going over some of the things that have come out since then.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything that he had a problem with the studio, and it seems like it was pretty, mutual, them wanting to leave, or like him wanting to leave. But it seemed like the studio, when they got looped in on the differences that Ryan Reynolds saw to what Deadpool 2 was going to be, and the director saw, they sided with Ryan Reynolds. So, which is I
don't think it was just
rare.
that they sided with Ryan Reynolds. I think Ryan Reynolds pushed it, But dude, that's what he did for the first movie, right? Like, I don't think that it was Tim Miller's baby from the beginning.
No.
He definitely just jumped on, and Ryan Reynolds has been pushing to do Deadpool properly from the beginning of wanting to do this movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I think that's it's not that he won or the studio sided with him. I think it's just that he pushed and pushed and pushed until he got what he wanted, what he saw as the vision for this movie going forward. Because, dude, it feels like Ryan Reynolds is like the pseudo director for this. There's just another name on it because he's not going to direct the movie himself,
Yeah.
But I think most of the creative part of it, most of the like what's going on, what would be a normal director role, like Ryan Reynolds is doing a lot of that stuff on his own. So I mean, I don't think it's bad, man. I like you said, it'd be nice to see where they took it together, the vision they had, and kind of go forward with it. But I'm not like really disappointed that he's gone.
No. You saw Deadpool, Cody? What do you think, man?
I was actually going to say if they're willing to listen to him and in this capacity, then he's probably going to make sure that they get the right person for the job, and I think it's going to work out. I think with Deadpool 2, he's kind of a weird, quirky character, so even if you have a movie that's completely different than the first one, I think that's going to be a good thing, and it's going to paint Deadpool in a more accurate light.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So I think Tim Miller wanted to do a more stylized, kind of more action sequences and kind of over the top stuff. He comes from a visual effects background, and I think Ryan Reynolds wanted to keep it more quirky, more on the comedy edge, kind of in the same vein as the first one. So if that worked, man, I'd say keep it going,
Dude. And you know what? That really reminds me of like that simple fact of it, like Ryan Reynolds talking about that, and then, that kind of, I guess, I don't know if it was leaking out or if either one of them came out and actually said those kind of things, that's actually what happened. Mm-hmm. But if that is the case, it reminds me a lot of one of my more favorite recent ones, like where Secret Wars was going on, like the newest Secret Wars in the Marvel Comics. They did Deadpool had like seriously 10 series that came out during that time.
God,
like he was in everything, but one of them was Deadpool's Secret Wars, and it would take on the original Secret Wars and how Deadpool was actually there.
Oh, right.
But dude, the original Secret Wars, when you look at that comic, it was like 10 issues, I think. 8 to 10 issues on the original Secret Wars, like from way back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And dude, it was all about like the giant battles that were going on, and all the comic characters having like their piece of it, and like everything that happened. In this one for Deadpool's Secret Wars, like, dude, there was battles going on, but they hardly focused on those battles. Like, there was nothing that really happened on that scale. It was all about Deadpool's journey going through like the stuff that happened behind the scenes in Secret Wars. So if you take that as the scope of like what Deadpool is and like who he is in the comics and what things are being focused on, there's a couple of times where you'll have like, maybe a couple of crazy action sequences or just a bunch of bullets being shot at something. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for the most part, it really is like a story about him and his perspective on the world and how really ridiculous that can be at times. Yeah. Like, and that's, to me, that's awesome. Like, I like that he fought for that. Mm-hmm.
Well, it also, it's kind of a dangerous line because, I don't know, I've seen some movies where they kind of mention something that happened someplace else, and sometimes that story could be, depending on how the movie goes, that story probably would have been more interesting than the story that they're trying to tell. So, I like to see where they take it or who they bring on. Another thing that they were talking about is, and maybe this isn't even true, just the other rumors that were going around about it, was the casting of Cable. They were looking at casting, what's his name from Friday Night Lights?
Kyle. Is that his name? Kyle Chandler?
Yes, nailed it.
Boom. I don't even know. I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah.
Coach from Friday Night Lights.
Yep. And also main actor in King Kong.
Oh, man. There you go.
So, I don't know. I think, man, I really thought the front runner for Cable was still the general from Avatar.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember his name. That guy.
Did you end up seeing what is that movie? The one with the blind guy?
No. Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. Yeah.
No, I wanted to.
He was in that one.
Guy. Yeah.
It's that guy. Yeah. He's a beast in that movie, man.
I was also pulling for Dolph Lundgren.
Oh yeah,
dude.
He can't, man. He's already Punisher.
Continuity problems.
The OG Punisher.
The OG Punisher.
Continuity problems for sure.
But see, you could have easily worked that one in there, and I think that would have been appropriate for a Deadpool movie, though.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah, for sure.
That is awesome, man.
Dude.
I really want to see that one again. I haven't seen it in a while.
Dude, who's that guy, man?
Who?
The guy, the blind dude in the movie that you watched that I didn't watch because I was scared.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Damn it.
I know who you're talking about.
I'm gonna look him up.
Don't Breathe.
Stephen Lang.
Stephen
Nice.
Lang, dude.
Nailed it.
Heck yes.
quick John McGraw over there. Nice.
Dude, Stephen Lang, dude, he's like the more I think about it, the more it's like he's really, dude, he's a good, accurate portrayal of Cable.
I also think he would work playing alongside Ryan Reynolds because they have completely different personality types, even their on-screen presence.
Yeah, dude.
So one is straight-laced and focused, and the other one comes off as scattered and sometimes a little aloof.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Dude,
but I also feel like Liam Neeson would do a good job.
Oh, dude. I love that guy, but he can't be in everything.
I know.
I think though, if you get anybody who's well known for a movie or portraying a specific character, I still think that will give him a lot to work off of and play off of.
Yeah. Well, then you got to worry about if there's any DC crossover. You know, I mean, he's already. What's his name?
Whom?
Liam Neeson. He's already.
Holy crap!
He's already
Batman.
holy crap. He's not Batman.
No,
Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah,
Ra's
there you
al
go.
Ghul.
Dude,
Yes.
okay, I totally forgot about that for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares?
He's the
I don't
man
care.
behind the man.
It's not like any of those movies like actually matter.
That's-
Just saying.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not since Marvel came in was like, hey, this is how you do superheroes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Doesn't have to be all real
And
world
they're
stuff.
like, okay, we totally get it, Marvel. Thank you for those tips. And then they went and they still screwed it up.
They still came out with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Anyway, move along. Let's move along.
Okay.
All right, cool. What else? What else you got, man? You just watched the trailer? Go ahead. Spit it
yeah.
out. Cody was gracious enough to show it to us.
Yeah.
He graced us with his presence and a trailer.
Man, he brings us gifts. Many, many gifts. Well, Liam Neeson's in this one also.
That would have been your perfect segue, dude.
Speaking of Liam Neeson, he has a particular set of skills. A Monster Calls is the movie that would have been perfect for October because it looks amazing. It's a little fantastical. It's a little horrific. Not horrific, but it has a horror element. And it has children in it. It kind of reminds me.
Do you like your children in October, Eric? Is that what it is?
Well, no, that's when they're scary the most.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
the Babadook. Did you ever see that?
No.
Awesome.
Oh my God, Jonathan, you would not sleep for an
this-
entire freaking year.
This is like your guys' dude. This episode is all you guys' genre. This is like completely. This entire episode is not in our wheelhouse.
I think the kid freaking out in the car is probably where he'd turn it off.
Oh yeah. Oh my
I don't know.
God.
I don't know what you guys are talking about,
Oh.
but I agree.
Yeah. He's like, nope, I'm already turning it off right now. I don't even know what's happening.
Like it's totally fine with me.
Damn it, that's a good movie too. Wow, we should have talked about that one.
Oh well, too bad.
I know, we got to move on. But A Monster Calls, it looks really good. It kind of reminds me, big freaking giant. Is and a mix of. So that's why BFG, is that what it is?
Big
called?
Friendly Giant?
Oh yeah.
Big friendly giant. Yeah, it was okay. You're close enough.
I like yours better.
Yeah, it kind of feels the same, man. Like, I don't know. It looks good. I hadn't seen it before, just a few moments ago, but I don't know. It was supposed to come out this month, but it's coming out in the 1st of January. So, I don't know. It looks good. You saw it, John. What do you think?
It was cool, man. I don't know why it looks like Big Friendly Giant or BFG.
It looks like a mixture of Groot and Big Friendly Giant.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you that. It looks like Groot.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Big friendly Groot.
Big
Friendly Groot.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. It looks like. I mean, it looks exactly like Groot. I'm not even gonna lie. That's like super close. Like,
Maybe that's why they held it off. They're like, wait a minute. We already have Groot.
Right,
He's
exactly.
out there already.
yeah,
Except he can say more words than I am Groot.
right. That's the only thing they had to change. They took
Yeah.
just the 3D model of Groot, made him move his mouth a little bit more, and there you go. You get this, and you voice Liam Neeson instead of Vin Diesel. I mean, boom.
That's true.
You could get this movie. No, but it looks cool, man. Like, I really like the element. I don't know, like, visually, I think it's way better than Big Friendly Giant. So I don't know why you're comparing it to
Oh,
it.
I didn't see
mean,
Big Friendly Giant. That's
No,
what
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
either because it got really bad reviews, and I was like,
okay.
I'm not going to go watch that after all.
I saw the original BFG.
Oh, yeah.
The cartoon.
Really? Nice. You don't watch the movie, though?
No,
I
I
didn't-
boycotted the movie because,
Just because.
yeah.
Right
Because
on.
I actually don't know anybody who's watched that movie. Like, I just read reviews online. I don't know anybody who's seen that movie. I don't know if it really did that bad or what, but dude, this looks way better though. I really like it. It's hard to, from this one, like watching the preview, it's hard not to try to figure out what's actually going on or what the little elements are. But I mean, I don't know where the plot could go besides that. Maybe this is just more of like not really a coming of age story for the kid, but like he needs to learn a life lesson kind of thing. Yeah. And you can already, to me, it feels like you're already learning that from the trailer and what it's going to be. But I mean, it's still, I think it'd be cool to watch still, just because the visual elements are really cool. And it's just like a good story to watch. Like it might try to give you the feels at the end, but I mean, what doesn't try to do that?
Felicity
sometimes?
Jones is in it. She's already in Rogue One. So in case you don't get your fill of her in December, you got her in January.
I don't know why you would word it that way, but okay.
Just saying.
She's
a good actress.
So,
I don't remember her in Spider-Man, though. Everybody says, like, oh, yeah, she looks super familiar. I do not remember her in Spider-Man.
Dude, in Spider-Man, she's the secretary to what's Osborn? Secretary? Is she the secretary? I think she's the secretary. Or assistant, like the executive assistant to Osborn in the second Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, the second Amazing Spider-Man. With Andrew Garfield.
Revenge of Garfield?
Oh, my goodness. Does it have a subtitle? Because it was The Amazing Spider-Man was the first one with Andrew Garfield. I don't remember what the second one was.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Was it just Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I didn't care for it.
I liked it.
I blocked that one out, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember a whole lot from it.
Yeah, they killed Emma Stone in that one. Spoiler alert.
Dude,
Just in case.
that's probably the one thing I liked about it, because they did. I feel like they really took care of that scene to make it like
that was the best
comic.
scene in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, by far.
Absolutely.
That's like the best like Gwen Stacy scene there's been in any of the movies so
But
far.
the problem I have is that's the only scene I can really pick out and remember.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it, I think is kind of.
Oh, you don't remember the electro rap?
Oh my god.
He was like singing while he
yeah.
was like burning through the.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I
There
know you
was
got
a lot
a
of
good
cheesy
voice.
moments. There was a lot of, I don't know. Yeah,
You
we
got
don't
a
have
good
to.
voice,
We don't have to get. Maybe we'll get into this some other day.
Okay,
Let's do this for some other day. But
we'll talk about Spider-Man 2 another day. Or the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
anyway, Monster Calls. Trailers in the description. Check it out. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know how much fanfare it's actually getting, or how much. Like, I haven't seen any trailers on television or seen a lot of people talk about it. So hopefully people go watch this, because it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
Cool. On to some meat and potatoes. Go ahead, Eric. I can't do this. I'm gonna cry if I start talking about this.
So this past week, the last week when we dropped the the episode, we all got together as a unit and watched the Walking Dead season 7 premiere. And man, did it let us down. No. No, actually, we're super avid fans of it, even though I know, Cody, you haven't seen one episode.
Nope.
So we're going to do super spoiler heavy in it, heavy in this description. But, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I didn't know who they were going to kill, but
All right, so go on. Full spoilers, man. If you haven't watched the season 7 opener, stop this now.
yeah.
Because we're going to drop some major spoilers.
Yeah, and if not, I'm pretty sure Facebook's already done it, or
Yes.
Twitter,
Yeah,
or
you've had social media block out.
yeah, because everybody's been talking about
Then
it
and now. Yeah.
So Abraham taken out,
Dead.
and then because of Daryl, Glenn got killed.
Dude.
So major players, dude. And you know what?
Dude.
So much like little like tidbits and stuff have been coming out about it, about little things like I didn't notice, like so Abraham and Sasha, like when they had their little fling or whatever last season,
Yeah.
they'd always like throw each other the peace sign.
Yeah.
And then when he's about to get knocked out, he throws Sasha a little peace sign. And I never noticed it, so that's when it shoots to her, and she's all like, no, and bam,
Boom.
done.
Yep.
I was like, man, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, dude.
You didn't see it, Cody, but it was rough.
Sounds heartbreaking.
It
Yeah.
was like super rough, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, and then freaking like, I will find you. Oh my god.
So, and then, so they're in a line, and they're about to be, they're trying to figure out who's going to get killed. And then, so they kill Abraham. And so Daryl, one of the other characters, gets up and he's pissed off at this guy for killing him, so he punches him and he's like, well, I warned y'all.
Dude.
You know,
and I thought for sure like Daryl was happening, which is my prediction. Like I thought Daryl was gonna go for sure.
And so he's like, well, I told you I was gonna shut that shit down right away. And then he goes and like kills this other dude. And so he hits him on the head. And
Don't you dare call Glenn this other dude.
Well, no,
Glenn is Glenn.
He doesn't know who Glenn is. So
Well, you know what? He needs to learn who Glenn is. No, I'm sorry, Cody. Like,
sorry, Cody.
You get your Walking Dead education right now.
So he hits Glenn and hits him in the head, and like hits him so hard his eye pops out. And he's like, dude, I just hit you in the head, and your eye's hanging out. It's pretty gross looking. And so he like turns to his wife and is like, I'll fight you. And he continues to beat his head until there's like just a bloody pulp.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So
It's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
It's like super gruesome.
yeah. But I mean,
Like,
it's
it was
super
bad.
true the way it was in the comic. The comic book lays it out exactly like that. It's almost frame by frame, except for Abraham getting killed that way. So it shouldn't have been too much of a shock or surprise. I was surprised how gruesome they get on just like regular TV. But I mean, it's been going in that direction for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's TVMA, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's how stuff has been going in general with TVMA stuff. Like, I mean, look at the first episode of Mr. Robot from the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really, like, it's almost like...
Oh, yeah, they were dropping F-bombs in that thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
normal
it's-
TV.
yeah, on USA.
USA Network.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and this one is like... There's some... No, they didn't...
No, they just said shit a bunch of times. But
Yeah.
You can say shit on TV now.
Yeah. And then all the blood and gore and
Mm-hmm.
ridiculousness.
Come a long way from
know.
the Andy Griffith Show.
Right. From skipping rocks on a pond.
Right? There you go, man. Yeah, dude. That was... man, I really was not expecting that, dude. I hoped, I guess, more than anything else, that it wouldn't be him, because they did so many of the... Like, last season, right? Like, he's dead. He's not dead. He's coming back. Like, he's in a completely crazy situation that he's going to not be able to get out of, and still, like... They killed him off first episode.
Yeah.
That's sad, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad the way they did it, because it's definitely a turn. This is different than a lot of the past season that they've done.
Right.
They're broken. Everybody's like kind of... This is going to affect everybody for seasons to come. So I think it's going to change what the comic or the show has been doing like the past 3 seasons, which is they find a safe place, they try to defeat the big bad there, and they get like kind of split up, and they do like mini episodes. So this will just kind of change up the dynamic, I think, because now Rick's not in control at all, the main leader. So we'll see how the season goes.
Dude, yeah, man. We'll see, dude. I'm back in it.
Yeah, Rick.
The show's happening. I'm gonna watch it. I mean, at least for a little bit. Like, I'm not on great terms with the show still. You know, after the whole freaking hiatus and what happened. So, I mean, but we'll see, dude. Like, I mean, it is what it is. I need to move past it.
Yeah.
And if this is the first step. So we'll see.
Yeah.
As long as it keeps my entertainment value up, it's not. I don't feel like I'm wasting my time, or they don't make me mad again, that I'm like upset for a whole freaking summer because they leave you on a stupid cliffhanger, that I'll keep watching. But dude, yeah. I'm to the point where I'm like fed up with that stuff. I'm like, dude, there's no reason to play games like that. You're playing with my emotions. It's not good.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Don't worry about
it. All right, man.
Well,
anyway, do you have anything else to say about it, man?
No, I don't, because I'm about to say you can talk to these people coming up where, because they'll be joining us where. Some of them are coming to town.
Oh, dude, Comic-Con. Don't even start with your freaking transitions, dude. Yeah, Comic-Con going on this weekend. So we're recording right before Comic-Con starts. But I guess next week we'll give an actual update. Like,
because you're going tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. You're going too, right?
Well, I don't know. We'll see if I can go tomorrow.
Are you serious? Oh yeah, tomorrow. And then, but I thought you were gonna go at least one day.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna try to show up on Saturday. It
nice.
Depends. We have an event here to come to first, but at work there's an event. So
what
with
event?
kids and trick or treating and stuff. So gotta bring Lily out, man. Gotta hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, I forget to do the kid thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
My apologies.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm down. You can bring Sparty if you want to.
Dude, that little dog is terrible, dude. He's a menace to society. I'm not taking him anywhere.
Yeah, it would be good to bring him anywhere. But yeah, you excited? Who you excited to see on tomorrow?
Nobody, dude. There's nobody in particular.
When does Amy Jo Johnson get there?
Why are you just gonna out me like that, dude?
Dude, because I know that's who you're excited to see. You talk about Doctor Who so much, and then you hear a Power Ranger from the 90s is showing up, and you're just like, Doctor Who?
Nice. I like that. That was good. Dude, I was looking forward to see David Tennant, but I think I'm just gonna pass by the booth wherever he's supposed to be at and just see if I can glance at him, because I think his autograph is like $150, I think, for just the autograph.
Well, he's definitely one of the more high-profile people there.
Oh yeah, dude, he's probably like the main, like, quote unquote, like, headliner that they're advertising that's coming over to the Comic-Con. So
that's a good one, though.
Yeah. Oh heck yeah, dude. I think David Tennant is awesome, dude. He's probably one of my favorite actors, like, not just because of the stuff he's done, and he's in Doctor Who and he's in Harry Potter and Purple Man. Yeah. Dude, he's done a lot of stuff that I really love, but dude, he does it so well, man. Like, he's super convincing in all of his roles, and I really love that about him. So, I mean, if I get a glance at him, cool. I don't think I have that kind of money to drop just for an autograph. We'll see how much it actually is once I'm there. So I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be like. Somebody Cody wants me to get an autograph for. John Bowerman is also coming along. I really like him too. He's been involved with so many Doctor Who things, and he was more recently. From what I know him from is he was on Arrow, the Arrow TV show.
He was awesome in the Arrow. I liked his character a lot.
Dude, he was really, really good. Like, he did a great job too, man. I was wondering how it would be going from, like, how he is in Doctor Who and Torchwood, like the Doctor Who spinoff. But dude, like, seeing him in there, I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, he does such a great job.
I'm giving you that movie to borrow. So,
dude, and what's the name of the movie?
Shark Attack 3 Megalodon. I'm just preparing you for that. I guarantee you, when you put that in front of him, he's probably just going to shake his head. So I want you to watch it while you have it in your possession.
Heck yeah, I'll watch it.
There's a line in that movie that you will never forget.
Awesome. That's freaking cool.
We're going to need a bigger boat. No, that's not it.
Not quite.
No.
Close enough.
Is this have the explicit sign next to it? So so there's a line in the movie where he's with this girl, his kind of love interest, and it's nighttime. They've been out doing their thing, like trying to figure some shit out for discover this shark and what it is. And she says, I'm really tired. And he looks at her and goes, me too, but I'm really wired. How about I take you home and eat your pussy? And then it cuts to a shower sex scene immediately.
Oh my god.
It goes from, like, timid, just, like, talking to, like, let's, like, do the deed.
Oh my god.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't see that before they casted him in Arrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So
that is really cool.
Or they see the Shark Attack 3D and they're just like, oh yeah, he knows what's going on with the Fantastic Beast and where to find him.
Yeah. That's exactly what's going on.
Let's get him in Arrow.
Dude, that's really cool, man. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to just go see. Like, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get a ton of autographs and stuff like that, but just to walk around and see all the booths, see what people got going on. So,
dude, that'd be cool to see if that guy was there, because there was one company that did all the pre-makeup or some of the makeup that were supposed to be in X-Men Apocalypse, and he did the bust of what he wanted Apocalypse to look like, and it was straight out of the freaking comic, man.
Yeah.
And so they've done a lot, and they didn't go with that version. They went
Source Subject.
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest complaints about the movie.
I know they could have done it so spot on, and they went another way.
Yeah,
you know. But
there's also a lot of people from, like, the like Kevin Smith movies, from, like, the Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's mainly a big bunch of people from Mallrats.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, I don't know if y'all.
Except for Ben Affleck,
yeah,
he's not going to be there.
Yeah,
I wonder what he's doing.
I don't know.
Nothing, man. He's not
vigilante, maybe.
Yeah,
twiddling his thumb, doing nothing.
Waiting for Mallrats 2 to come out.
That's awesome.
Probably
yeah, dude. So I'm excited, man. I think it'll be cool. Can't wait.
Cool.
Can't wait.
Well, because it's Halloween, John.
I know, dude.
We got to talk about your favorite movie of all time.
This is not my favorite movie of all time.
Nice.
You forced me to watch this.
I know. I'm super excited about this.
Dude. I'm going to like relive this whole thing. I'm going to have nightmares like while sitting in this chair.
Good. I hope you do.
Jerk.
Well, no, we wanted to do something, and we talked about doing Event Horizon, but it's something that we had seen a bunch before, and so we all kind of wanted to see something new that we all didn't have experience with, but was a kind of like a horror movie. But holidays is the name of the movie, but because of the holidays, this is something that a type of horror movie that I hadn't seen before, where it's an anthology around the holiday, just each holiday season, and each director, each season had a different director. So I thought it was a really cool take on it. The anthology horror series is something that I really enjoyed with ABCs of Death, kind of VHS. What other ones are out there, Cody?
Even Trick or Treat could almost be counted as an anthology because it tells multiple different stories.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
But I really like this style, like the way they did it, and it almost feels like the ABCs of Death, kind of like how each intermission kind of goes, like the way they show like the holiday card, for that specific like scene or series. So I thought it was cool, and it was a different take. So we watched it this past week.
And if you guys want to, like, if you haven't watched it, you want to watch it before we start talking about it, it's on Netflix. Search the holidays. I'll try to see about finding an actual link right to Netflix for anybody who's got an account. You can just watch it and then come back and finish listening to this, because we're gonna spoil the crap out of it in the next coming minutes here. But dude, it was, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea.
Okay.
It's not the normal thing that I watch.
None of it at all?
There was only one, but let's go ahead and just get into it. Let's just jump right in.
So, like, first things first, the first holiday it starts off with is Valentine's Day.
Yes.
What'd you think, John?
Dude, this one is probably, it wasn't too bad, actually. This one didn't like freak me out or make me think like something out, like totally out there. It didn't make me uneasy. Mm-hmm. So it was one of the easier ones for me to watch. But it's a story about a crazy teenager in love with her swimming coach, or diving coach, I guess, technically.
Well, she wasn't crazy at first. She didn't come off as crazy.
Nah.
Dude, to me, the second I saw her, I was like, she's going to be a little off. Just because already from the beginning they set it up. Like, she's looking at, like she's imagining her coach, like, all in...
She's a hormonal teenager, though. I mean...
She's growing, John.
Yeah.
She's finding out things about her life.
Okay.
And herself.
Whatever, man. Either way.
And you know what? It's funny. The hint to that also was that the girls that were making fun of her while she was before she dove, they were calling her Maxi Pad.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure she probably had some kind of accident there, and they were all making fun of her because of it.
Right.
So
I mean, her name is Maxine. Mm-hmm. So it naturally translates for kids being kids and being jerk faces. Yeah, teenagers being teenagers, I should say, for this instance. But that's how it happens. Yeah. So I mean, like, what? They're making fun of her. The one girl, like the leader of the mean girls, like goes and like pushes her into the freaking pool, like from the diving board. She freaks out. Kind of seems like she's kind of drowning. Yeah. Then coach saves her, and then she's in love with the coach again. Oh my goodness. Go ahead, man. Continue the story.
So coach saves her, and she has this kind of. She definitely sees him in she has something for him. Like, just the way they film it is pretty cool. But the girls make fun of her again, and I don't know, man. Like, dude,
but I mean, okay, so they very specifically like get into like what triggers her like going off the deep end, right? Because they're already being mean to her. Like, that's not enough to trigger it. Coach has a heart condition that they're doing a fundraiser for. Like, leader of the Mean Girls is actually helping the coach out by making this fundraiser. But they're featuring themselves, so it's kind of selfish at the same time for them. But she starts making fun of Maxine again, and then pushes just a little bit too far, because she starts talking about how her dad killed himself with the box cutter. And like that, you can immediately see, boom, the change like happen. And dude, she was like dead stare eyes. Like, she even stopped making fun of her. Like, boom, done.
I gotta go.
And she was like, yeah. And before that, she was teasing her about how she was gonna help the coach out. Like, yeah. And dude, and then she follows the mean girl home.
Follows her home and follows her into the woods, and the mean girl starts freaking out. She's like, "You don't even go this way. Quit following me."
I like the transition though there, how she went from poking fun to realize that she crossed the boundary to, okay, I'm going to try and make nice now. Okay, see you tomorrow or whatever.
Oh
And
yeah,
then-
dude.
Yeah.
So
happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Such a quick change, and then, man,
Boom.
crazy chick Maxine pushes her over. Or no, she's actually the
hits
other
the
girl. Mean
cheek.
girl's running. She gets stuck in the mud. Like her sandal gets stuck in the mud. She ends up falling into the mud, and then Maxine proceeds to cut her heart out.
With a box cutter. Yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Oh my goodness.
And then she takes her heart to the coach
Yeah.
as a Valentine's Day offering.
Right. And scene.
And scene. So, dude, and that was like the one that like least worried you, or at least
No, that's not that at least worried me. Like, it's the one that it wasn't too bad, you know? Like, when you start looking at that stuff, and it was an interesting story. It kept moving along. Fun to watch, for the most part. You know, like, I guess I can, like, to a certain point, I can relate with her because kids are mean, and they were mean to me. I have some crazy stories about being a kid and being picked on, but maybe not crazy stories, but just a few of them that, like, just,
and that one
kids are
time you
mean,
kid out that
man.
other guy's heart.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was a good introductory story out of all of them, though. It was like it was a good way to set up the movie.
Yeah, right.
'Cause I don't think you could have started out the movie with any of the other sequences.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was really good. It was a good way to start it. Dude, you know what? And all of them, I think just about all of them, I don't know one that sticks out that really didn't have, like, good music. But dude, this one sets the tone for some like really good music. The way it was shot, it wasn't anything like super crazy in particular. Like, it was just, to me, basic and normal camera angles, cinematography, like lighting, except for the little semi-dream sequences where she's
the
imagining the
transitions
coach.
and-
Yes, exactly. Like, so you get kind of into her head and you see it from her perspective a little bit. But that was cool. That wasn't bad. Didn't take you out of it, but it wasn't anything super special. It was good.
Yeah.
It's just like a good little story that had a nice complete, like, beginning to end.
Yeah, and when you consider how short these sequences are,
Yeah,
I think it did a really good job of setting up the characters, and you already have an idea of what the character's about and building a relationship, although very quickly, with the characters.
Yeah.
So
No, dude, it did a really great job about that. Like, just kind of setting up the thing, and making you feel involved. And dude, such a great complete story. I really like that about this one.
Yeah.
If it has any kind of highlight, that's the highlight for me.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't. It's not like a. To me, this isn't like straight up horror. You know, it's like a little bit more suspense because you kind of anticipate what's going to happen, and you can kind of feel what's going on. But there isn't, like, you know, it's not like crazy gore. They don't show her actually cutting it out. You know, just holding like a live, or what used to be a live heart in her hands at the end. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. Like, as far as that kind of stuff goes.
You like it, Cody?
I did like it. On the IMDb page, it was talking about there's some ties to Carrie on there as being like an influencer.
Oh yeah. You can definitely see that.
So
For sure.
Dude.
Well,
But
I think the next one kind of worried you, or
yeah, dude, I was on board. Like, after the first one, I was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, let's do this. There's no problem. I can get through this easy. And after the second one, I stopped it and looked for the next take.
I am the most excited to hear John talk about this particular one.
Oh my god, dude! This one, the next two, in fact, are like, man, I almost didn't make it through everything else because of these next two.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But dude, St.
I'm
Patrick's Day.
excited.
St. Patrick's Day was already bad enough, right? So St. Patrick's Day, they start off with a story, like a fictional story, I guess, of St. Patrick, about him getting rid of all the snakes on the island
story.
of Ireland. Is it a true story? It's not a true story. There's no way it's a true story.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah, you guys shut up.
Well, no, like that. Well, the story of St. Patrick is him. Yes. Well, I don't know how actual it is, but I know in Catholic school there are those short, like sometimes they show you these movies or tales that are so close to, like, there's some
They're close to real, but they're not really real.
right, exactly, like, especially when you're young kids, like you're taught, like, oh, like the atom is the smallest unit of matter, when actually it can go like subatomic particles and stuff like
Right,
that.
yeah.
So it's true to a sense, but you know, there's still some story behind it. So but yeah, so there was a movie about how St. Patrick was casting all the snakes out of Ireland, and I guess maybe I missed that part where one of the kids had like a little I don't know, was it a sculpture or was it just like a twist of twine or something?
It was like a snake.
Making it.
Yeah,
she was making it because if you remember when she was in the playground area, she was like, "What are you making?" And then she just like completely rips it apart and stands up and like storms off. Like as soon as she comments on it.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's making it. But and that was kind of cool how they kind of kept the recurring theme of like a wound snake. Like, because if you see that when she notices, you can tell that's what she's longing for. She's longing for a child.
Yeah.
They show her like in the playground. She's gathering up the kids after recess, I guess. And then there's a mother outside with a child, and she kind of like stares longingly. But when you look at it, like they zoom out again, and then you see like she's standing in the middle of like, I don't know if it's like a hopscotch circle or whatever, but it's the same pattern. It's like a spiral, and she's standing right in the center of it. You know, and then later on, you know, she finishes making that little twine snake thing. So it's, again, that circular pattern right in the middle when she goes off and I guess is, like, supposed to go out for drinks with somebody or something like that or go hang out with friends. And she ends up in her car and she's in the middle of a parking lot, green car, again, the spiral all around the thing.
Keeping it circular.
So, I mean, and that's where I was done. I was, like...
Was it
done?
Like, was it the kid that kind of creeped you out the most? Because just that smiling girl,
she was super creepy.
Yeah,
like just because the way they made her smile, like she herself, like I mean, didn't look like anything crazy or bad or anything, but the way they made her smile and just kind of stare, like in the way the teacher would talk to her and then she just wouldn't respond. I was like, dude, that's really freaky, man. Like I don't know what the heck they're trying to do to me here. That
like,
in itself was pretty bad.
Yeah, and maybe teachers out there can kind of like relate to this, coming across a student like that, but
right,
it's kind of like stories like that where you just like when you come across these kids, you're just like, okay, this kid, there's something going on. What's happening?
And even to take it a step further and not to skip ahead too much, but when they have the papers that they all write, it's just another indication of how often do you think teachers get those papers? You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of goes along, you know, has like voicemails from like her mom or her sister. There's
some relative of sorts.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, just call and see how you're doing.
Well, first she goes and she sees that she thinks she's pregnant. Goes to the doctor, check out. They tell her pregnant, and this is where I started like, okay, like
checking out.
I'm done with this.
Really, I liked that scene. You're pregnant, but we're not sure what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
She's
like, I can
boy or
already
girl,
tell.
I don't care.
Yeah, dude. And I can already tell it's a snake baby. Like, it's a snake baby. Like, that's all it is. It's just a snake baby. And dude, like, but from that moment, I was like, oh my God. Like, it was just so uncomfortable. Like, and then the fact that, she's so enamored with the fact or that she is pregnant that she's blocking everything else out. What I did like, though, is I did like how they kind of threw you, I guess, a little bit in her mind. And I was talking to Eric about that? I think I talked to Eric about this, not you, Cody. But I was telling Eric that I like the way the cinematography played on stuff because it's like, it's almost dream sequency, but at the same time, it's almost like you're in her head where it's clouded judgment and she's not seeing the world correctly more than it is, you know, like an actual dream of something. Right? She's just like kind of so enamored with this idea and what's going on. And I love how they kind of kept jumping back into that at certain points where it's like, it gets really dream sequency, but it's more like you're in her head about how she's treating this and thinking about it. Dude, oh my goodness. Yeah, dude. So they keep going on with that. She's pregnant for over a year?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. You know, like towards the end, it was like 366 days later or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude,
it was insane. And that's right along. I'm sorry to come back to your point where there's all the voicemails of stuff like while she's in this pregnancy, like they just kind of show the visuals of her, and then it's more the voicemails talking
of like, you know, you need to go to the vet. Like the vet doctor wouldn't lie to you. You know, this is what's going on. But like I don't know. I guess I don't know the pregnancy length of a snake, but I don't know if that was going on the pregnancy of her, or if that was like day one was the first day she met the kid. she noticed.
I think it
Bricella or
was
something.
because it was St. Patrick's Day that maybe it was akin to like she got pregnant on St. Patrick's Day, and then maybe one year to the day later, like on the next
okay.
St. Patrick's Day is when she had
Like,
the
can have
thing,
that, or
you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that played into it, the supernatural portion, whatever,
Yeah.
what have you, but it was.
So where? Okay, so she's pregnant that day, and she takes a shower after, or takes a bath after assaulting a baby's outfit at I guess the Babies R Us or whatever. And so she's taking a bath, and there's this hamster she grabbed that's like crawling on her. And
It's a mouse.
It's a mouse.
Yeah.
I thought it looked like a hamster or a gerbil or something. I don't know. Maybe I haven't had a hamster or a gerbil in a while. And it like falls in the water that she's bathing in, and then boom, like she starts going into labor pains, and
Like, she brought the mouse just to get the snake, like,
Beat it.
to coax it out, basically. That was ridiculous.
and did it come out, Jonathan?
Oh my god.
Boy, did it.
Oh boy, did it! So it looked like a freaking anaconda, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
pretty
want
big.
none.
It was a boy.
Yeah,
Little snake baby.
Yeah.
Huge snake baby. Ah, dude, it was too much, man.
and
who-
That was
though.
taking
Who's
it
the
too
dad?
far.
And the dad was Danny Zuko, Greece's own Danny
right.
Zuko.
Oh my god.
And that end sequence was
That was crazy.
it was crazy.
I don't understand. Maybe that's where, I guess,
It just didn't make any sense to me.
that at the very end was kind of crazy.
It had the snake even had the little tuft of hair.
Oh
When it
yeah,
hit
that
her.
was it. Had the coif
Yeah.
of Danny Zuko. Which,
Dude, it was too much.
yeah.
It was too much.
So like Rosemary's Baby meets The Omen meets Snakes on a Plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure, I haven't seen any of those, but
Oh,
I'll
I've
agree.
seen all of them.
Like, that was good. That's good enough for me. I'll let you guys have that.
Dude, but I think Easter creeped me out, man.
This one was one of my favorites.
It was
Dude,
good.
it would
but
be, Cody.
Super creepy, man.
Dude, this was another one. This was okay. So like, I stopped, like literally stopped it after St. Patrick's Day. So I was like, dude, that's a bit much. I need to take a break. I'll pick it back up again tomorrow. And then first thing that comes back after tomorrow is freaking Easter. Like, dude, it's probably one of the roughest things I've ever like sat down and like forced myself to watch. Because I just couldn't do it, man.
It was
Couldn't
good
do
though,
it.
man.
I loved it. Like I can't.
It
This one like really at the beginning of it, I was kind of so with the movie, and then this one I was like, okay, like this kind of
All
sealed
in.
the deal for really liking the movie for me. So
Right.
So with Easter, it starts off with a girl falling asleep on Easter Eve. Was the day before Easter. Her mom's putting her to bed, and she's excited about Easter coming up, and she's like, well, just go close your eyes and it'll be okay. You'll wake up tomorrow. You're gonna have all the little chicks to eat and the little eggs to eat, and it'll be great. And she's like, but what if I wake up? But what if I see the Easter bunny? She's like, no, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. She's like, well, what if I need to get a glass of water? Go get your glass of water. It's going to be cool. You just go do it and then come back to bed.
Yeah.
And so she's like, it's just going to be like last year. And so they give you a little backstory, and the little girl answers, but last year Dad was here. Like, oh, come on. Okay, won't exactly, but it'll be just close enough,
I would also throw out like a little disclaimer that if anybody is like religiously sensitive about it,
Oh,
this was
man.
definitely the one that probably would be the one to avoid.
Yeah.
So
no, for sure.
Yeah.
So
For sure, and well, she also said, she's
Jesus.
like, it's just like Easter.
Scared.
Isn't that like the day that Jesus rose from the dead, or something along those lines? And she was like, yes, but this is this is what it is, and it looked like it was a very religious house. They had a bunch of crosses and stuff around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, the mom had like a crucifix in the bedroom, I think.
yeah, she did.
Like right in front of her bed or whatever. So,
Which was weird, and because the mom, I guess, went to bed and took care of herself as the daughter's in the other room trying to go to sleep. And so I guess during the night, daughter wakes up. She goes to get a glass of water. While she's doing that, an egg rolls in through the
Oh, but
back?
before
Oh,
she
right.
gets up and gets a glass of water, the egg rolls in.
Yeah. So
It's like
and it's kind of like
White and black spotted egg.
Yeah, it's
really
kind of like
big
it's
white
like
spotted egg.
it's kind of sweating a little bit, this egg, and then hatches, and
I don't think you actually see the egg
you don't
hatch,
see
though, right?
you don't see it hatch, but she's going back to her room and she hears something and she goes to check out what it is, and she sees like this man or crouched over, or
It looks like Gollum.
yeah, it actually, yes, perfect example, definitely Gollum or Dobby. Which
Dobby. Really large.
a really large Dobby just kind of crouched over and like leaning his hand out, and out of his hand there's a hole in his hand, and a little chick jumps out of his hand hole.
And
I'm like getting physically ill as we're talking about this.
that scene was awesome and well executed.
Yeah.
And then that was
head
one
down
of the
for a little
most
bit.
awesomely disturbing like depictions of an Easter bunny I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, super creepy. So the man gets up and looks at the girl, and she's trying to run away, and he jumps out in front of her, and it's a mashup of Jesus and the Easter Bunny in man form, which is super creepy to say.
With
even creepier to watch.
with all the wounds of Christ, the crown of thorns, everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the girl's like, "Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to see you. Like, I'm gonna go to bed now." And he's like, "Well,
Nope.
nope. Actually, now that you saw me, you are now the Easter Bunny." And she's like, "Well, can I come back and see my mom?" And he's like, "Where you're going, you will never ever see your mom again." Which looks super freaking creepy.
Oh, dude, he just looks really messed up too, man. Like, cause it's a rabbit face. Like, it's a rabbit face, but all flesh without fur.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't think about it right now.
Yeah. Like, what are those hairless cats?
like the Egyptian Sphinx cats or whatever they are.
Just kind of like one of those. And and so the girl slowly turns into that Easter Bunny.
And you don't even see it. You see just like her silhouette against the wall. But
Yeah.
I mean,
But I guess he makes her see, and puts his stigmata over her eyes, and oh man, pretty crazy.
Y'all know who plays him? Did y'all look into that on?
Yeah, I'd look. Oh, what is his name?
Mark Steger.
I don't know who that is.
He played. I can't remember.
Everything. No, so it's funny. He was actually, I guess, the maybe the mocap actor for the monster on Stranger Things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was also,
Interesting.
I guess, like the creatures, the mocap guy for the creatures in like I Am Legend. So he's done a lot of
that's
like
right.
he's
That's
done.
right,
He
yeah.
seems to have been doing like a lot of like creature type acting
Yeah.
and doing things from that. Which
It
honestly,
comes across on it. Like,
I would like to, he doesn't have that extensive of like a I guess a career in acting in that way, but I
Yeah.
hope
Did you know
this,
that when he was crouched over, that really did remind me of Stranger Things when Eleven's in the upside down.
The first
Yeah.
when they first introduce it.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the first time you see it.
I wonder. Oh man, I didn't even check. I wonder if that director of that segment was the same director or had any input in Stranger Things.
Written and directed by Nicholas McCarthy. But I don't know what else he's done. Made, Cry for Help, Chinese Box, The Pact, At the Devil's Door, and Holidays.
So nothing. But his previous experience definitely did shine through. So that's cool. Yeah, super creeped out, man.
Yeah, dude. I almost had to turn it off again.
After the one.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. That was pretty bad. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Just couldn't do it. It's just that creep out factor, man. Like, that's all it is. It's just that creep out
It
factor.
also set you up for it because the first one was pretty tame overall. It was a very like real kind of horror element, and it was with I guess a sympathetic kind of a kid, that you
Right.
can understand. And the
It's
next
a
one,
little more like suspenseful,
Yeah.
like more than anything else.
yeah, and then the second one though is kind of just weird and off the wall. And then
Right.
this is the first one that I feel like has that uncomfortable
Oh, dude.
horror element
yeah.
to it.
Yeah, and
That-
that's what I don't
yeah.
like.
And
It's
so
just
with the progression of the movie, I think that
yeah.
that I think it was well placed as far as in the series
Right.
of
When the little girl was talking
always.
about it in the beginning too, like I could kind of feel that was coming. I was like, oh, he's like Jesus like rose from the dead on Easter. He was dead and he's coming back, like, and dude, like already I was like, okay, I kind of can figure where this is kind of going. But I thought it would be like two elements, like an Easter bunny and then like a undead like Christ, but dude, freaking man, like the way they combined it, like
They nailed it.
dude, the chick coming out of the hand is what, like, I was like, dude, like I was almost done at that
I would have
point.
been there to see you react.
Oh,
to this
dude,
movie,
it
man.
was really bad, like really, really bad. Yeah, man,
It really was like the whole like Easter package deal wrapped up into one.
Yeah.
It had like the symbology for like new life, the kind of Jesus religious factor, but then also the Easter bunny and of course the chick in general being
Yeah.
kind of an Easter symbol.
yes, yeah. All right. Anyway,
I liked it.
Yeah, I think that one was probably one of my favorite ones, even though it could just because it creeped me out so bad.
yeah, that was like my least favorite one by far. I don't like feeling that way.
Okay, so the next one was Mother's Day, and that one was more like I guess, was it like she didn't want the kid, or she was trying to get rid of the kid at the
She
beginning,
kept getting
or?
pregnant.
Yeah, every time she had sex, she got pregnant. And
Oh,
so
wow.
they said something about she was only like 20-something years old, but she had already aborted 20 times.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it was...
and then she's like on birth control, and she makes her partner like wear a condom, sometimes 2 or 3, like, but
that
still,
just makes it least effective.
right? Yeah, I mean, but still, she was getting pregnant.
Just a little warning out there for everybody.
Just like PSA.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't know, dude. This one, like,
This one was probably my least favorite of it, but although just as far as the overall story element goes, but there were still some pieces that I really liked out of it.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
I liked, it was an original concept. Like it's something that I don't think anybody has ever really utilized or told, like somebody who, you always hear about people who have difficulties, conceiving, but
Yeah.
the complete opposite of every time you conceive. And I can't imagine like the mental state that puts you in
Right.
as a human being.
yeah,
So-
yeah. And I guess because that part of it was interesting to me, like I was like, oh, that's kind of like it's an original concept, or it feels like an original concept. I don't know if they've done other things with it or not, but it really felt unique. And then the rest of the story just didn't play out for me. I was just like, okay, like, I mean, what? I don't really
I
care
agree.
about it. I'm
That-
not invested. Like,
I kind of felt that way. This, like I said, this was probably my least favorite of
Yeah.
them.
it didn't really give me a reason to care.
It almost the pace that it moved at didn't really progress as well as the pace as the others did.
Definitely.
And then I felt like overall, like some of the others, there were lapses in time, but it fit into how they told the story. And this one, it jumped so much that I didn't feel invested in the character as
Right,
much.
yeah.
Yeah. It kind of seemed like because she wasn't as pregnant, like when she got. Because what happens is she finds out she's pregnant again, so she's trying alternative medicine, and when she does that, she goes to this peyote sanctuary, and they do this ritual, and they just end up drugging her and keeping her for the entire pregnancy. But the only thing you get is she gets drugged, she stays, and then like from one scene to the next, it's already like, okay, it's like she's gonna give birth. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of creepy a little bit in that way. It's
Yeah,
more of like
it's kind of like a quick
culty.
time lapse.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, like they've kidnapped her for a long time because all of a sudden it feels like she was just there, and then all of a sudden she's like 8 months pregnant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And honestly, I think my favorite scene in that whole sequence was really the I guess the time lapse after the ladies who want to have a baby and are trying to conceive when they're after the ceremony and they're all huddled around her bed, and it kind of like shows her like kind of looking stoned out of her mind or whatever, and then
Yeah.
she transitions to the bed. That whole like little sequence was my favorite out of it,
Yeah.
but it was more from an artistic standpoint than a storytelling standpoint.
Right. Yeah. 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 And then, I mean, the end, like I guess like the payoff of what would be the scary part, because I mean, getting kidnapped is, I'm sure, scary enough, but like, I didn't feel like that was kind of like the main point of it. And then she goes to have like whatever it is, like it's a premature like birth or whatever that seems like it's going to happen. And it's just like a bloody arm, like coming out,
Which
is like a full grown arm, I should
But
say.
it wasn't anything that hasn't been done before. For anybody that's
Right.
seen Extra, there is a scene in, I think it's Extra 2. I don't think it's the first one. I think it's the second one. Anyways, where
them.
she gives birth to a full-grown human, and it actually shows the entire birthing scene of like a human, like an adult crawling out of there. And then even, Trinidad had mentioned the scene with ABCs of Death, and that's also, that was a kind of an element in ABCs of Death too. So
gotcha.
I don't
know.
ABCs of Death 2 or ABCs of Death 1?
I think that was the
No,
second one. But anyways, it just overall, like, it started out with a unique concept, but it ended with some very like commonplace elements in horror, or even elements that seemed like they should have shocked or surprised you, but they didn't.
Yeah. To me, I was like, I quickly moved past that one. That one was, it didn't scare me. It didn't make me feel uneasy. Like, it was just like, okay, like, where's my investment in this? And I never got it.
Yeah, it was all right.
Dude, and that was Mother's Day, just so, because we didn't say that at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
for Father's Day, I think
Day.
that one was super good. I think if I were to rank them, it would definitely be Easter and then Father's Day, a close second.
Dude, that's a hard one for me, because I would agree, but I think they were a tie just because they were so incredibly different.
Yeah.
Right.
But
dude, here it is, tiebreaker, because I really liked this one.
Oh yeah.
I really like Father's Day. It was just such a great, like, I don't know, like, immediately the music kind of grips you. The way it's shot, like, and Cody, I know you talked about this earlier, kind of like the pacing of everything, the way they did, like the cutscenes and the way that things moved along was so freaking good.
It was
man.
a slow build, and the other thing too is that it told so much story about that individual, the girl's life,
right? Yeah,
but without necessarily showing it all. It was all done through like
quick narratives.
It was very well done.
Yeah, dude. And the way the music fit, the way the cinematography, like the way it was shot, dude, gorgeous. Like, and immediately from the first couple of seconds after the other one, I was like, okay, like, I'm ready to even just like zone out because it wasn't really gripping me. To like really turn it around like right away. As soon as you see that package, it's like, oh, what's in the package? And like slowly opening it and then doing like a reveal of like half of the letters on it, so like you can tell it says Father's Day on it, but like you only see half of it, and it's like, okay, like cool, like that's interesting. And then the opening of the box, and then trying to play the tape, and then there's no batteries, so she's got to like find batteries, and it's just like a quick cut, like boom, find batteries, boom, playing it again. But you get like this investment. It's like a slow build of like, oh well, what's going to happen next? They seem very
mundane things too that she's doing, but like you said, you're invested right away.
It leaves a little bit of mystery in it that you want to keep going with it. And dude, like I'm like, dude, okay, 100% honesty, like I knew this was going to be rough for me to watch most of these, so I was playing Galaxy of Heroes, like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, like on my iPad, like while I'm watching the movie, like on the TV.
Just like, okay,
just because I knew like I'd have to look away at certain points, like I'd have to do things to kind of keep like me sitting down and invested in it. And dude, like the game stopped completely. Like I like shut the screen off on the iPad. And I was like, what's gonna happen next? Like what's going on? Like it completely gripped my attention. But dude, yeah, and then kind of going off, she starts listening to the tape. She starts listening to the tape. Side A is like a message from her father that when she's gotten old enough, come meet him if she can, because he was alive.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that is that that's within. I mean, I didn't time most of these segments, but that whole storytelling element takes place within like the first minute. So you already know everything about this girl's backstory, and the fact that for some reason her dad's no longer in the picture, but you don't really know why or anything outside of she believed that he was completely gone and not alive, and that I don't know the sense of longing and desire to figure out what happened and reconnect you already had at that point. From the conversation right after that she has with her mom on the phone, that she leaves a voicemail for the mom.
Yeah, dude, and that was awesome. Like, I don't know who the actress was. I'm sure it's on here. Jocelyn Donahue. Mm-hmm. She did a really good job at that point too, like kind of just like leaving the voicemail on there, but really like made you buy into it with like her actions, the way she acted it out. Like it was really cool. Like that's like strong emotion.
The thing about her is that she was in another movie that's actually one of my favorite horror movies, modern horror movies, House of the Devil.
Oh, really?
It has that same element where when you watch the movie, which I had that feeling in this movie or in this sequence, that you have this illusion of like, okay, you think it's modern times, but it could also be like in the past.
Right.
There's elements of everything. Like the headphones she puts on, they're very dated and most likely from the time period when her father left her.
Right.
But it has that same kind of slow, methodical build in that movie. But she is awesome.
Yeah.
And her acting was fantastic, especially considering that throughout this whole thing, there's no dialogue really coming from her, but you still get the emotion.
It's just like her when she's talking with her mom. Like that's it. Like,
and then the rest of it's just her listening and walking.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh heck yeah. And dude, that was a great build too. Like going out there, like the cut time showing like the traveling out to there, so you don't have to do a whole lot of like. She's traveling in the car. You just get like it's cutscenes, and dude, you get a feeling of like how far she had to go for
while
that.
the audio is playing the whole time of her dad talking.
And that music too is like so freaking awesome. And dude, so she gets to a beach, like turns around, is walking through like an abandoned town that you could, you hear her as a child, with her dad, like narrating what's going on and how to get to him, like to the actual location. And then I love how they kind of do an element of like why this is happening with it looked like a lunar eclipse with the Earth.
That opening scene immediately grabbed you like, ooh, I wonder what this is going to be about. So
like the whole time they just kind of, and they flash for like a second each time they go back to it. I think they do it like total 3 times, maybe 4.
As it's
progressing. Dude, just like the moon and the Earth are lining up perfectly. And dude, oh man, like it built so much suspense to that whole thing. And like he's narrating, you can hear him like saying goodbye to her as a young child, like her walking through the door of where this is going to be, and then encountering that creature thing. My only complaint is that I wish there would have been a slightly bigger payoff. But I know with time constraints and stuff like that, you really can't do a whole lot, and it really does leave you with a mystery of like, what the hell was that?
And then, but I also like that though too, because you only have a glimpse of it,
right?
And then what happens immediately after is that okay, she's no longer there. So like it leaves you with another mystery. Like the whole thing is leading you to an explanation, and then it's gone. So
yeah. Fantastical element to it. Or the mystical and the magical.
Yeah,
it kind of looked
cool.
like the whatever creature grabbed her was all. We just talked about it. I Am Legend style.
Oh yeah, I did. It kind of looked like that. But yeah, interesting, man. I really like that one. I enjoyed it. I would probably watch that sequence independently again, just to kind of get more elements out of it because it was really well done.
I think so too.
Cool, man. Halloween.
Yeah, got a couple more, or a few more to go. Halloween, the Kevin Smith one. You can definitely tell it has a lot of Kevin Smith elements to it. Well, one, it has his daughter in it, and Harley Quinn Smith. And also, it has Harley from Epic Mealtime.
Yeah.
Sauce Boss. Which is appropriate, I think, nickname for just this scene. It's basically
no, it's not.
It
not
is
appropriate.
It is super appropriate because he's it looks like he's like a kind of like an online like a porn recruiter, just trying to get girls to come to LA and be on this webcam.
He's a webcam pimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
while description.
Settle down, John. As he's like recruiting as he's on the phone with these girls that are responding to his ad online, he's telling them, "Yeah, come out, you'll be a star. I'll fly you out here, whatever." While he's telling the girls this, he has 3 girls in a single room apartment that are like watching Scooby Doo, I think. And it's like witches or whatever, and they're, one girl's working in the background, like in the other room, and she, one of her clients, calls her a whore or something, right?
Yeah.
And so the girls are consoling her and saying like, "Oh man, guys are such assholes," and while they're telling her this, Harley, the webmail pimp, comes home, and
webmail, the webcam,
or the webcam, not the webmail. That'd be a totally different pimp altogether, I think.
That's awesome. Oh, dude, happens. Laughing too much.
What did he tell him, John?
Dude, I don't remember what. I can't remember.
Yeah. So he just basically tells the girls, like,
Oh, yeah,
how come
like-
they're not working?
Right.
Quit talking to each other. Get to work. They need to keep earning their money. And so he tells the girls, like, if you're not gonna earn me money, you got me all upset. You gotta whatever. You gotta show me your stuff. And one of the girls gets mad and says, that you're dumb or you're stupid because you got us 3 girls together, and 3 girls together is powerful because like witches or something.
They're a coven.
They're a coven. That's right. 3 girls together is a coven. So there's the power of 3. So while he's trying to attack one and get on top of one of the girls, he gets knocked out by this toaster.
Yeah. Toaster oven even.
Or toaster oven. Yeah, that's right. So they knock him out and they strap
They super glue.
Oh, they super glued up a dildo and put it up his butt and attached it to a
Car battery.
Car battery. So it has a little bit of juice to it.
Yeah. I don't think it'll stop anytime soon.
Yeah.
Dude, but they did it. I wish they would have done a better job, but they did a pretty decent job of like painting him as a jerk beforehand.
Yeah, now they
Like,
did.
it was definitely like you felt like, okay, like this guy deserves it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
not
don't
that
know.
much. That's
Not
too
that
far.
much.
Yeah, I thought he was an asshole, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little too far.
a little too far. But I don't know. I think that's kind of Kevin Smith's.
Oh no, I think this had some good elements of like Tusk did.
Oh, yeah.
Where it really did a good job of making you feel uncomfortable and
Yeah.
almost wanting to avert your eyes, even though specifically it never showed anything bad. The
It
the
kept
whole
it
time.
pretty.
Yeah. Overall, it was one of the more visually tame segments. But
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there was the one scene that you saw a little bit of blood, but it was all left up to your imagination.
Yeah.
This one definitely made me the most uncomfortable out
Yeah.
of all of them. I squirmed every time they turned that on.
Yeah.
This is a 2.
Dude.
Yeah.
And then what they were trying to get him to do.
Yeah. What were they trying to show him?
Yeah,
Or show? What did they want him
Don't
to
make
show?
me say it, guys.
Show it.
Don't make me say it.
Show what?
Sure.
Don't make me say it.
Show. What were they trying to show? Hollow it out.
They're telling him to make one.
Make one.
Make his outie to an innie.
Yes.
Yeah.
The long short of it.
With
great way to put
with
it.
a knife.
With a butcher knife. Or not even a butcher knife, just a regular kitchen knife.
Steak knife. No, not a steak knife. I don't know. A knife.
You don't
Kitchen
know
knife.
cutlery,
Kitchen knife
so
is
it's
good.
okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know.
I don't know cutlery either, so it's okay. But yeah, so when
Oh,
he
dude, that
started,
part of it was pretty rough. I was like,
so when he started carving himself instead of doing it on the webcam, they show a hot pocket being torn in 2, which was pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The next line kind of solidifies his ending and what happens. They say, "What happens if we turn it up to a 10?" And then you hear the sound, and then that.
Oh yeah, dude. But that cut scene of where instead of actually showing it and being more grotesque, man, that goes back to like one of the early days of like silent film directing. There was this movie, this black and white movie. Man, I wish I remembered it. I was trying to think of it before we got started, but basically, there was a guy that he got captured by somebody else, and they got a razor and they were gonna cut his eye open, and like you can see the razor getting closer and closer, and this was like way back when. And before they cut open his eye, or before you see them cutting open his eye, they show like a really thin cloud going across like the front of the moon. So you kind of know what's happening, but they don't really show it. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's super uneasy just
cutaway.
thinking
Yeah.
about it, you know.
like you know exactly what they're alluding to.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're not going to show it to you.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was
was,
Kevin Smith's little segment.
I actually enjoyed this one. It was really different. It was a different take on it. It was a little tongue in cheek and kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But it definitely had the elements of at least from a male perspective, uncomfortable
Making it
and a little
cringeworthy.
scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I guess it was all right. I didn't hate it. That's my little review for this segment.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
Well, the next one was Christmas, and It
Damn.
starred Seth Green and his actual true life wife, Claire Grant. So they've been in a bunch of things. Obviously, they don't need an introduction. But basically, on Christmas Eve, he was going to this store to get his son a Christmas gift that he wanted, and so he already seems like he's been walked over a whole bunch, and that was kind of like the kibosh to his day of getting this gift and the store closing and the guy leaving the store with the gift that he wanted, and it's the last one.
And it should have been his from the way that it was told, because remember he called ahead,
Yeah.
and then
He called ahead to
he was like,
reserve
"Oh, I
it."
just sold the last one. Oh, should have gotten here sooner," kind of a thing. So
Yeah, so
icing
his-
on the cake.
Yeah.
So
And not just a toy, man. It's a U view.
yeah, view. It shows you.
It shows you.
Yeah.
I liked how that one opened up with kind of like a commercial type element.
Right.
to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It
That was kind of cool. Like it kind of set up what it is. Like,
Yeah.
and but yeah, man, it was kind of the contraption itself was a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Like
Google
I feel
Glass.
like I could have made something a little bit better than that, but
But its
it wasn't
concept.
bad.
But
It
its
was just-
concept is.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just like it's just a vehicle for the story to continue on.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't really like that wasn't the focus of the thing. It was more like what the concept of it was.
So while he's walking away, or while he's trying to talk to the guy and say, "Hey, I'll buy that off of you," the guy's like, "Sorry, man. If it was that important, you would have been here earlier." Not really pointing the guy like, I mean, hey, that's anybody. Like, you got a gift,
Right.
Somebody's trying to buy it off you. You're gonna be like, "Man, get out of here, man!" Like,
Yeah,
I got it.
I feel like most people would have reacted that way.
Yeah.
like in that
Yeah,
situation.
that dude wasn't painted in a bad light at all. He was just happened to be there.
He's the unfortunate bystander
Yeah.
who.
So while he's getting to his car, his wife is texting him, "Tell me you got it. Tell me you got that. The last one." And while he's reading the text, the guy has like a heart attack and dies, or is in the process of dying.
Yeah.
But instead of helping him out, he just Seth Green grabs the U-View and takes off and steps right over him and lets the guy die and goes home.
Yeah, and that element kind of haunts him throughout the remaining sequence, because
Yeah.
he keeps going back to it and struggling, I guess, with the decision that he made.
Yeah, and then
as one would or
yeah,
should.
or as one should, exactly. So he gives his son the gift, and I guess before he gives him the gift, you can see like how the wife is. Like, she's just like kind of overbearing. She's just kind of just like saying like how terrible people are at work, and just like, oh, and this this,
Like
I got
he's
looked
bored
over
with the relationship is what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
He's over it, spaced, and disengaged with,
Yes.
with everything regarding that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think maybe it's not so much the relationship aspect at that point. At that point, he's just thinking, "Man, I just let some guy die because I wanted this gift."
But you do get the picture that he's kind of a doormat in life.
Oh yeah.
So in every aspect,
Right,
he's
yeah.
he's definitely kind of treated poorly by his wife. That already immediately you get to, he's kind of the somewhat subject of emotional spousal abuse to a certain degree.
So he's there. His son takes out the gift finally Christmas morning and is like, "Oh, this is awesome," And he's like, "Well, I don't even know what this is. I've killed over it pretty much, or I've inadvertently let somebody die over this, and I don't even know what it does." And the son's like, "Oh, this is amazing! Like, I'm a guy on Mars," and and he's like, "Dad, look, it shows you what you want to see." And so the dad puts it on, and it's like a dominatrix is like whipping him or something like that.
Yeah.
And so
Or he's whipping her.
oh yeah. But so as the story goes on,
Well, he promptly takes it off at that point, because he I guess, and he's excited by it, but at the same time he's a little worried.
it's in front of his family.
He's there in front of his family, and although it's for his eyes only, he is kind of a little excited yet ashamed.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
No, yeah, and then from that, like, he goes on to, So it's what, middle of the night?
Yeah,
It
he
seems
wakes
like,
up in
or
the middle of
like-
the night.
or close to the middle of the night, and goes downstairs, put it back on to finish watching this video, apparently. And instead of showing him the rest of the video, it cuts to the perspective of the guy who died, who he let die to get the thing. So he's already thinking, like, dude, that's super messed up.
But it also solidifies him dying because it goes from watching him take it and walk away and leave him there to die to him essentially laying on the slab at the morgue with two guys talking about, man, what a crappy Christmas gift for his family, kind of a thing, you know. But you know, they're kind of I don't know what the word is. They're not really emotionally.
Oh yeah, like they don't really care. Like
they're not bothered by the concept,
right? Another dead body.
Yeah,
you know.
You got to make room in the freezer, kind of a thing.
Yeah, heck yeah. But dude, I mean, it was an interesting-ish concept up to that point. Like, and they really do take it up to another level when it's like his wife then sees it because he didn't sign out of those things, and then like she likes it apparently.
It turns her on, and like that, and it kind of plays into the fact earlier they're both laying in bed, and he tries to come on to his wife, and he rolls over and tries to spoon her and starts talking. She's like, "No, stop, go away." And then he comes back and she was like, I saw what you left. You forgot to log out. And he's like, well, I can explain. She was like, why did you do it? And, he kind of has this little monologue, and she already is spaced and invested in and turned on by the fact that he let somebody die for the sake of getting this. And, they promptly go to the floor
and
do the bad thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was good, man. Like, that part of it was like kind of interesting at that point, like to say, like, hey, man, like this is, it's him turning over a new leaf, being somebody different, and then his wife likes it, so good for them. Mm-hmm. But then he sees what she forgot
to log out
exactly,
and he's in the bedroom alone and turns and she's gone, and he grabs the glasses or goggles or whatever the U-view and sees that she basically sought revenge on her boss. He brings him a cup of coffee.
Not giving her the freaking bonus.
Yeah, and so it's another perspective kind of thing, much like the victim that he had. Her boss's perspective of her coming in, giving him coffee, and then he kind of comes to and he's strapped to a chair and she's wheeling him someplace, and then they're in almost like a
Dexter style.
Yeah, very Dexter style. Lots of plastic, and then what does she use? Like a carving knife?
Yeah.
Like an electric carving knife, and it's all perspective based. Yeah. So she's splattered with blood, but it doesn't outright show anything happening on him.
Right, that was kind of cool. Like, how they kept it gore free at that point.
Yeah. It's like, as long as they didn't show anything, that's all right.
Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I think it was cool.
It kind of, honestly, it reminded me of like I guess a short version and maybe a not as good version of like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted to watch. After I finished this, I went to start watching Black Mirror again because I really like Black Mirror.
Just because of this one?
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, not just because of this, just because of the whole anthology thing.
Oh, okay.
And the whole anthology thing is kind of like what Black Mirror is too.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Each one is different. But dude, I don't know, man. Like, this one was probably the most predictable for me. Like, it really just felt like, dude, okay.
To me, I didn't think so. I think the next one was the most predictable one for me.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that one too. Okay, yeah, both of these last ones were really predictable for me. Like, I could kind of tell, like, that's where, as soon as they started doing some of these elements, I was like, okay, I kind of know where this is going. Mm-hmm. And I guess because it took the element of surprise out of there, and it took the element of, like, suspense of what was going to happen, like, I was just really, I didn't really care. Like, it was okay.
It was a decent concept. I think... one of the things that probably made this one the most worthwhile is that it's an interesting concept. It seems like a very plausible thing, and the casting, like, it was definitely one of the most big names attached to the entire movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially with Seth Green and Claire Grant, like, probably the biggest names easily, I think, by far. Yeah, had to have been. Yeah, man, it was cool. It was all right.
Agreed.
Didn't freak me out, but also didn't give me any feels, really.
Yeah. And the last one has to be probably the one that freaked you out the least. Well, actually, probably not the least. I think there was a lot of things in the last one that...
Yeah, and I think Cody was like, because this one is New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve. Probably the most predictable. Like, just because it's like, dude, like, from the beginning, from the opening shots, like, so, man... basically shooting his, I don't know if it's wife or
I think just
girlfriend.
captured girlfriend.
Captured girlfriend.
Unwilling partner.
Yeah. So like, I mean, as tied up in the basement, it already starts with an element of like, oh hey, this is like a serial killer apparently, or a killer at least. Shooting her, and then like the second he started going for like another person, I was like, dude, he's gonna meet his match. Like, and like immediately I was like, okay, this is what's gonna happen.
I agree. There were definitely some elements that I really enjoyed in this one, though.
Right, okay.
I think the casting was good.
Yeah.
Like, I liked all the characters that they chose, and I thought they were believable in the sense of like he kind of came across as like your almost storybook type serial killer as far as the way he was dressed, the way he presented himself.
Yeah, he's very like he almost fit
had
right in that mold.
Yeah, and he almost had a sense of like being a child, and and he was a very cookie cutter, like what people think of as a serial killer. Everything about him. She came off more of like the depressed, unassuming serial killer, which is kind of what I did like about it. Yeah. And they both played their roles very well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
they
she
did.
Lorenzo Izzo. She's
Lorenza Izzo?
Yeah, she is I think fiance or wife of Eli Roth.
Oh.
So
interesting.
she's definitely been in a lot of his flicks. The Green Inferno, I think it was the first one that they did together and where they met on. Then after that they did Knock Knock, which is more of a suspenseful thriller more than horror movie from Eli Roth. So definitely different take, but also good, I think. And John, you might like Knock Knock also if you're into suspense thrillers and not so much the gore, which I think you're not about.
Nope. Sometimes depends.
Sometimes, and it's definitely different from anything Eli Roth has done before.
Right.
Because Hostel and The Green Inferno were definitely like torture porn,
and did not shy away from showing you everything.
Oh no, not at all.
Which was kind of interesting. I think this segment was probably the most in that vein too, as far as like showing you what's happening rather than leaving some of it up to your imagination.
Yeah, definitely. Like got his leg cut off or his foot cut off, and then the
body in the tub and the limbs hanging. Like this one was definitely the most graphic out of all of them.
Right. Yeah. So they go like when they come back to the apartment, like, and even though it was predictable, like I wasn't like completely disinterested or disengaged with it. Like it still kept my interest, like kind of going through it. But I mean, you could kind of tell what was going to happen. Like they do a lot of like the little foreshadowing that's going to happen on certain things. But I mean, it wasn't bad. Like still even then. Like
the interesting thing about this is the concept of a serial killer based off of like. Potential matches on an online dating website versus the old school type of like I'm going to stalk and get to know you from a distance and then go in and I already know about you because I rummaged through your trash or I as opposed to nowadays we expose everything online and you can find a match based off of that. So I liked that aspect of it.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, and they matched because we're both killers.
Yeah, he's like
makes sense.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, I really like the fact that like. Even then, the fact that he was apparently a killer and did all this stuff, like the second he finds out that she's a killer, like it kind of puts him in the victim role almost immediately because he's outmatched at that point. Like it's pretty crazy. He's in her territory, back at her place instead of his.
He's figured it out. He's like, oh my god, she's brought me back here for a reason. Like this is what's happening.
Yeah,
damn it.
She knows. Like that part of it. That part of it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, even when he walks into the bathroom though, and because he's like preparing the chloroform or whatever, and
he's got his ritual.
Yeah, and you hear the dripping in the shower, and immediately I was like, "There's a body in there." That's right where my mind went. Unfortunately, so
it had a lot of good setup.
Oh yeah,
in a lot of those scenes, I think it was funny in that way because, like you said, you could tell where it's going, but the way they presented it wasn't a way that wasn't
bad. It was just very predictable.
Yeah.
And like I said, I liked the interactions that they had at the table where he has this isn't going well date, and then you kind of get the feeling that she doesn't think so either, but she's there because she's desperate and she's lonely.
Yeah.
So I liked that dialogue exchange a lot.
Right.
I don't know that it was very awkward at times, which fit their personalities too. So
yeah. No, that was really cool. That was really, really cool. Yeah, man, it wasn't bad. That part of it wasn't bad. Yeah. I mean, overall, I think what brings everything up for me is the freaking Father's Day sequence. I don't know. I personally can't put my stamp of approval on this just because this is not, one, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
So if this genre isn't your thing, don't watch this because I would not have if it hadn't been for all this stuff.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If the only sequence you had to base it off of was the Father's Day sequence, would you recommend it? If that's the only sequence you saw?
Yeah.
So,
I would.
So do you think that
like I would, but see, that's the thing is like the other parts of it make it so that to me it's not worth it overall. Now that I know the Father's Day sequence is in there, if anybody's willing to try to search and scan for that because this isn't their thing and just to see what that part of it's about, I would say like search and scan through it just to watch that Father's Day sequence from it because that independently is really, really good.
Yeah.
Like really good. Like it's got actual like there's something that's complete about it, even with it being a short little segment in an anthology part. That's really, really, to me, really, really good, really, really well done, really well executed, and you get something out of it for the most part. But everything else for me is like I don't really care. But like I said, not my genre, not the thing I normally watch, not the kind of thing that I would sit down and watch on a weekend because I was bored or really wanted something to check out. So I defer to you guys. What do you guys say?
I dug it just because I definitely like the anthology type series. Just the fact that it's like 8 mini movies in a movie, and if you don't like one of the segments, you can find something you do like in the others. So I think because of that, I definitely say check it out. And as we're throwing it out there, I got to tell Shelby thank you for recommending this as well because it was her recommendation that I kind of checked it out. So.
Nice.
Cody, what'd you think?
100% agree with you. The other thing that I like doing with movies like this, especially in anthologies where you have a different director taking the helm on each sequence, will give you a little bit of an idea of what that director might be like in other movies, so you can kind of explore the rabbit hole of what other things they might have done. And I don't know, I like being introduced to new things. The one thing that I have to say that stood out to me throughout the whole movie, I really enjoyed the music throughout the whole thing. Each sequence had its own unique flavor of music. It fit in very well with each sequence, but it all stood out independently from one another.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the music throughout the thing. If you're a fan of like old retro style synth music, it's a good movie to check out.
I would more recommend the soundtrack rather than the whole thing because it was really good.
Kind of reminds me of It Follows, especially during the Father's Day
even
segment.
Stranger Things, man.
Or Beyond the Black Rainbow, and that's one.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were talking about
and that's
that.
one that if you like the Father's Day sequence, the pacing and everything, Beyond the Black Rainbow is a good movie to check out that has a very similar like synthy soundtrack.
Nice, awesome, cool.
Well, Cody, thank you so much for joining us again this time. Hopefully, we'll get to talk about some more horror movies down the line. Maybe during Christmas. Maybe we'll do a horror Christmas movie.
Nope, not gonna happen.
There's some good ones.
Krampus? That was the most recent one.
I'm done. This is the last time we do horror movies on this thing. If we're gonna do horror movies, we need to do them sci-fi based. Period. Got it. All right, good.
Well, there was definitely a lot of fantastical elements to a bunch of the stories that we saw. So, and I think it definitely did fit within our wheelhouse. So, all
right.
But John,
man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good eggs. Good eggs. Is that what you said? Good eggs.
No,
like snake eggs. Like snake babies.
No.
Or Easter eggs.
Or Easter eggs.
Done with all of it.
Okay.
But thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us in extra special Halloween special that went extra long. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Cody. Also for
thank
myself.
y'all for having me.
Heck yes, man. Other than that, what? Huh?
Go ahead. We don't have time for your stares, John.
All right.
Hey, where can they find you?
Yeah.
Damn it, Cody. You too. You betrayed me. Et tu, Brutus. You can find us online all over the place. SoundCloud.com/Kenobi's-Corner. Twitter username is @Kenobi's-Corner. That's Twitter.com/Kenobi's Corner. You can find us on iTunes and the Google Play Store under the podcast sections there under Kenobi's Corner. So feel free to check us out. Feel free to drop us a line on Twitter. Come say hi. Come say hello. I'll be at Comic-Con all weekend. This doesn't post till Sunday. Hopefully, I might post it a little bit early, come to think of it.
Okay.
So we'll see, man. Maybe I'll catch somebody out there. Maybe I'll just drop in on somebody.
Sweet.
I don't know who people listen to this podcast, but that might actually happen.
Yeah, well.
That's not going to happen. Just saying. Thanks, everybody.
And enjoy yourselves and each other, and have a great Halloween. Bye.